It is Friday, and what does that mean? That means my favorite way, and hopefully your favorite way, to get to know your Atlas recruiter, the often imitated, never duplicated Atlas MedStaff 5-Question Friday. With me this week, Arianna Clarke. Welcome. Okay.
Excited to be here.
Okay, so first question's always the same, and this doesn't count as a question. You're a remote recruiter for us. Where are you located?
I'm currently in Florida. My last contract as a travel nurse was here in October, and then we kind of stayed through the holidays because family's here. And we are leaving in May to go to Indiana. So I'm actually going to the Kentucky Derby meet and greet, and then I'm going to come up to the office at some point in May or June.
Awesome. Okay. Where ideally, this again, not a question, ideally, like where would you want to end up? Like where do you want to live?
I don't know. We've loved like everywhere we've traveled at. The craziest thing I would say is that like one of the places that we loved the most was West Virginia. And that was totally not ever like in our wheelhouse of even thinking like we would like to live there.
Okay.
So super strange, but
you never know. You never know though. And that's the magic of, and we'll get into this a little bit, the magic of when you were a travel nurse, you did get to see all these different things. So you would have never experienced it otherwise. And
yes.
now it seems possible, right?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Okay, question number one. Who is Arianna Clarke?
So I am a mom of two little boys. We homeschool. So I would say like I'm a homeschool mom too. I'm a wife I'm celebrating my 10-year wedding anniversary on the 14th, which is super cool and crazy. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for about 7 years now. Traveled obviously for 2 years with Atlas, and now I'm a recruiter. So
question 1A then, what type of nurse were you? And then like, where were the contracts that you, like what how many contracts did you take? Where were they at?
Yeah. So I'm a PCU cardiac step-down nurse. I would say I prefer the heart, so cardiac was like my jam, but I liked PCU too. I started my nursing career in med-surg and then transitioned into like medical PCU and then transitioned into cardiac. So did that for a while. My first contract was in Reno, Nevada. And it was like, I signed the contract right before the COVID pandemic started. So I was making like $1,800 a week, which it was amazing to me then. Now it's like people, get used to making what they're making now. And it's funny, I actually tried to place a nurse there a couple months back. But so we spent some time in Reno. My contract got canceled a little bit early because of their trying to figure out their needs with COVID and all that kind of stuff. It was a weird time in the market, I would say. And then we moved to West Virginia. So we went from like the West to the East Coast. And that was interesting. Spent about 6 or 8 months in West Virginia, came home to Florida for a couple of months for the holidays, and then went to Tucson, Arizona. So we went from Nevada to West Virginia to Florida to Tucson, and then spent 9 months in Tucson, Arizona. Which was amazing. We got to go to the Grand Canyon. We got to go to Sedona multiple times. We went to Flagstaff. We went to Utah. We went to Colorado. Like that was an amazing contract. And then came back to Florida, took a contract here, and then started as a recruiter.
As it leads me to question number 2 then. Based on all of that experience, when you're talking to a traveler, to another nurse, a potential new traveler, what's the one piece of advice that you would give them?
So it's super fun for me to talk to like people who aren't super educated in the market, just because as a nurse, I that's one thing I miss is education. Like nurses are like that's part of our responsibility is to educate our patients. So it's really cool to, educate new travelers on the market and what to expect. One of my biggest pieces of advice is have 3 months savings in your account, because you never know what is going to happen. And when we got canceled in Reno, I would say it probably took us like 4 to 6 weeks to even start a new contract. So, I mean, that's 4 to 6 weeks of no income.
Right.
And we moved across the country, so definitely have savings. And then if you're anything like I am, I'm a super control freak. I like to be in control of situations. I'm very organized. You have to learn to just go with the flow in travel nursing. Like it is, you cannot control anything. Like you just have to be super flexible, and just go with the flow.
Which it always surprises me, especially like ER ICU nurses that travel, that they're always so in control, right? They always have that piece, and not that and the other specialties do too, right? Yeah. And you got to let go, and you just have to go with it sometimes. And, yeah. All right. Question number 3. In your Atlas bio, you say someday you hope to have a farm. You want to live on a farm. You want to have farm animals. Where'd that come from and why?
Super weird. I don't even know essentially how it came about, but when my husband and I got married, it was just something that we kind of talked about, living sustainably, living off the land, teaching our kids what that looks like. I feel like, my generation and the generation before us kind of lost touch of that. And so it's just something that we've been super interested to get back into. So I don't know. Something that we're really, really interested in doing, really passionate about doing. I feel like it's crazy because it's been kind of like a shift in people's mindset that people are getting back towards that. We've been thinking about it for 10 plus years and haven't financially been able to do it yet. So,
well, hopefully you get there. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Our goal is to buy land in the next year or two. So
when we update this video in a couple of years, then you can tell me about the goats and whatever else that you have on your farm.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Question number 4. Who or what inspires you?
2 people. There's so many people. There's so many people who inspire everybody, I would say. My parents and my husband. I mean, my mom is like the best person who is just, she really inspired me to be the mother that I am today, and to like reach for really high goals and to continue to persevere. My dad as well, he always encouraged me to be open-minded and to reach for high goals and to just care about people. He's a really big people person. And so I think I get that from him as well. And then my husband is just the best person in the whole world. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, question number 5, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's a really hard question. I feel like, for my age, I've been really blessed to go a lot of places. My parents we traveled a lot when I was younger. So that probably also instilled that in me as far as wanting to be a travel nurse. I haven't been to Germany yet, and my husband's family is from Germany. So I would say that's probably like next on the list for us.
That's on my list. I want to go there. So I have family going way back there or whatever, not anymore, but I have some roots there. So I think it'd be fun to go and
definitely. Yeah. Definitely during Oktoberfest too. That's like one of our bucket list items.
There you go. We could plan a whole Atlas trip, and all of us that want to go.
We should.
There you go. Arianna, thank you so much. All right, let's keep this somewhat timeless. Give me the month and the year that you started with us here.
I started in January of this year, 2022.
That means she has time. As of recording right now, that means she has time. So we're going to put you're above me on my screen right here. So we're going to put all of her information right there. And if you're a traveler, if you're a nurse that is looking for that little bit of information or knowledge, Arianna's done it. She's been there in the hospital. You could talk to her about those very difficult days, obviously HIPAA compliant, right? I mean, but she can talk to you on that level. So again, we'll put all of her contact information right there. So Arianna, I hope to meet you and your husband soon. I hope we get through all this COVID stuff, and then we can get back to having some gatherings here in Omaha.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. It was good to talk to you.
All right. We'll see you next week.